welcome everyone to another edition of On the Trail in Search of Living Legends. It's going to be episode 23 of season 5. I'm
Wow.
my co-host and partner, Mr. Nick Valenti. Nick, you want to tell them who we got on with us tonight? We got a great guest.
Oh, yeah, Jay. And I hope you're doing good today. It sounds your audio is coming in wonderfully for me anyway.
Beautiful.
Anyway, our guest today, and it should have been last week, but we had a little technical difficulty, is Mr. Greg Yost, Squatch Man.
Yeah.
And Greg, how are you doing today, buddy?
Hey, doing great, Nick. Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
Our pleasure.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Hey, Greg, how's that commercial coming? Are they going to be doing that with you?
Well, funny you mentioned that. I just got a call from them. It was one day last week. I think it was Tuesday, and they said, don't lose faith in us. We're still going through the process. We can't afford another failure on this. See what happened. They had a big Super Bowl commercial, and it was a complete failure. I mean, the ratings on it were horrible, man, and people got fired over it. So that they got a team up to get this, you get it right. It's a company. They get a lot of business from commercials, and they had to do it right. So they let me know I'm still in the running.
Yeah,
they're still
especially for
exploring
Super Bowl.
options, but they just let me know. So I ain't giving up. But that's what a $100 million company's going to do. They're not going to rush into it, but at least they let me know I'm still in the running.
Good.
And what is it? It's Dr. Squatch?
Yeah, it's a Dr. Squatch Soap Company. They're located out in California. They got 2 plants out there in L.A. and I believe Santa Barbara maybe. And it's a very big company.
Oh yeah,
And,
I've used their deodorant. I got a couple of their deodorants. It's a natural deodorant. It makes you smell like a stinky squatch that's out there in the forest for a couple of years. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it does pretty good. It doesn't have aluminum in it or anything that's going to harm your body. And their soap is really
it's all
good.
natural, and it'd be something I would like to promote. And on the side of the box, it goes, it says, be clean, be refreshed, be like a Squatch Man. So, I guess that's what they're looking for. They're Squatch Man. And I think I would represent their company good. Like you said, it's a men, strictly a men's soap company.
Yeah.
Deodorant, soap, and shampoo. And, it's $100 million plus $1 million company by just them 3 products. So,
just 3 products.
It must be a very good product with them numbers.
Oh, yeah. Plus they got you. I mean, you've been out there in the field for how many years now, Greg? How many years you been out?
Since 2002.
Ah.
So it has been over 20 years.
Yeah. I can just see you now standing up there. When I come out in from the field, you got all mud slung all over you. Then the next picture is you in a shower. I take out my Dr. Squatch and I clean up. But Greg, you'd be perfect, man. I mean, look, how tall are you? You're about what, 6'7", 6'8"?
Almost 6'6", yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're really, perfect. You're perfect for that,
Yeah, and I think I got the perfect look for it too.
Yeah.
I look like a woodsman.
That's because you
with
are.
The beard and the long hair and everything.
That's because you are. You go out there in the woods a lot.
Yeah, and I keep slim and trim. I think I'm a pretty decent looking man. I'm 64 years old, and a lot of people don't believe that. So, I'm doing something right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, have you been out there recently? Out in the woods, taking any groups out or by yourself?
No, actually, we had I had a group camp out over Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, a lot of people came for like 5 nights. I was up there for 3, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, and there was probably 15 people there. It was in conjunction with the Indiana Bigfoot Research group run by Leroy Nell, a group I'm in, and everybody loves Bigfoot. That's what it's all about, Bigfoot, and we all came down there up to my forest. Always talk about, and they love it there. Everybody has good activities. They see stuff. They love coming back, and they're always on me about having campouts. They can't get enough of it. So yeah, it was a good weekend. I guess the best thing that happened, there was a couple, and they brought their 12-year-old daughter with them. And they were about a couple hours away, up around the Indianapolis area.
Uh-huh.
And I told them, I go, yeah, wait till it gets dark. I go, that's when everything starts, man, when it gets dark. And this little girl was over there running up and down on the wood line, 40, 50 feet. And as she turned around and run back, and, finally she came up to the picnic table, and her dad said, he goes, you having fun down there? She goes, yeah, I'm having fun with my new buddy. And he's like, well, what, a raccoon? She's like, no. She goes, there's a Bigfoot over there running up and down with me in the woods over there. And everybody, stopped talking and, started listening to her, 12-year-old girl. And her dad goes, well, what do you look like? And she goes, well, he kind of looked like you, Dad. He wasn't really real big or nothing. He was about your size. So I go, oh, that was a young one. I go, yeah, he's probably your age, man. He's playing with you.
A baby
and
squatch.
She goes, yeah, you believe that? And she goes, oh, I feel so good. She goes, I've never felt like this before. She goes, I feel so much love in my heart. This is a 12-year-old girl talking, Nick, and I was like, wow. So, yeah, that was the highlight of the weekend, and, we got a good picture of one standing there with eye shine. The eyes were about 10 inches apart. He was only 20, 25 feet from the campfire where everybody was sitting.
Wow. That's close.
Yeah, it's real close. And one of my friends, Denise, Denise Pike, she got a picture of it, and it was amazing.
Oof. Now, Greg,
and, it was a big boy.
Yeah.
Big bright greenish eyes.
Oof.
So everybody had a good time, man. Every time we go up there, and that's how that's how I got it now. I really don't gotta go looking for them. I got them coming to me now, and it used to not be that way. So they're really trusting me and the people I bring up there, and it's pretty amazing of what goes on.
A lot of times, Greg, you lead people up there, for like a Squatch Day, or just to see if they can find one. How often were you doing that, before you retired?
I used to do it all the time. I still get people wanting me to take them out, and that's their ultimate goal. They want to see one, and I used to. Oh gosh, I've been so many miles in that forest. Back where we were talking about, just a little while ago about health. Yeah, that's a good way to stay healthy. Walking in the forest, especially when you're not on a trail.
Definitely.
And I never went down trails. I always went out into the open forest. You always believe you're not going to really see much or find much, on a mainstream trail. where hundreds of people probably traverse it, especially in the summertime. So I like to go where people don't go. That way you can, when somebody probably did this, or somebody probably, because I have noticed I've never seen people walking in the woods. I mean, if they do go out there, they're going to stay on the trail. So I like Pauline Creeks. That's a good way to find footprints. That's a good way to find structures, tree bows, teepees. And I take people, and we see all this stuff. I mean, some great stuff. And occasionally we would see a Bigfoot. Strange as it is, it seems like, if I take people out there, you really don't have a chance with them. I think maybe two people with me have seen them, out there on a daytime hike. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when I go out there by myself, the odds go up a lot. Like one time I was out there, this is back in about 2015, I was out there by myself, and I was casting, it looked like a baby print and a juvenile print, right next to each other. So I go, well, this is pretty wild. I go, what is the little boy walking the little baby out down here through the creek? I go, pretty damn interesting. So I mixed my plaster up and I started casting. I was standing there, just looking there, thinking, imagining, two little, squatches walking through right where I'm at. So I'm down in the creek and up to the ridge on my left, out of the corner of my eye, I see a figure walking, and it looked like it was all brown. The first thought that come to my head was a UPS man. So I'm like, this is early in the morning on a weekday. So I'm like, well, what's a UPS man doing out here, walking out here off trail, deep in the forest? So I casually glanced up there, and because it kind of freaked me out seeing something. I never see nobody out there, but just me or the people I bring. So I looked over up there on the ridge, and it was a Sasquatch. It looked like a female. It had breasts. I seen them, and it was like a tall, slim one, like a shot body. It wasn't nothing big like the Patterson film.
Right.
She was a lot slimmer, and I watched her about 9 steps, just gliding over the top of that ridge. And I'm standing there, man, freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this, man. And I kind of froze, man. I mean, it shocked me. And she walked right over the ridge and then down, like 9 steps, which is a pretty good distance when you're talking Bigfoot. And she went to the left there over the top of the ridge there and gone. So I started thinking, I'm like, well, I just seen her right behind me. That's where she started walking. So I'm like, well, what? I go, was she up there watching me? Was she watching me cast her baby's footprints? I mean, it was a woman. And so I started, always thinking like that. So that's what I believe that she was doing. Up there watching me, just interested in seeing what I was doing.
Yeah, she was probably curious.
She let me see her. I mean, she wasn't hiding or nothing. And, and I'm always alert. You always hear, Nick, you talk about being alert. When you go out in the woods, man, know what's around you. You're a big dog man, dude. And, I got that picture one right after where I seen that, a female walking. It wasn't far from that. I mean, so there's other things out there that could probably do some serious damage on you if Yeah, so I keep everything in perspective, and I tell people, expect the unexpected out here. The forest is great, and it can also be very dangerous. So, if you're afraid of anything, don't come. But
that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it seems like as far as people seeing them, there's I'd say over 50 people that have come to my camps have seen them around the campfire. That's what they like doing, coming up on the perimeter of the woods. Yeah, I mean, I got a campsite. It's like it's in an island, and surrounded by woods. So I mean, they can come up on any side except for the front, and it's up on a ridge. So they got to come up the hill, and we've seen them crawling. We see them. I mean, their eyes light up. I mean, we have counted 10, 15, 20 of them all around the perimeter. I mean, with all different eyes. I mean, this one lady put it really good. She goes, Greg, she goes, it looks like Christmas out there, with all the colored lights. And this is coming out of a dark forest. So, but yet people will argue with me that Bigfoots can't do this. But I know they can. I could take both of you gentlemen up there tonight and we would see it. It's like every time I go there, it's like, I do a little talking to them. And I ask them please to show themselves, share a little bit of their life with us. We're not here to hurt you, and boom. Usually within minutes, man, there they are. Tree knocks, we hear vocals. The next morning around camp, you can look at some of the trees, and the branches have been broken over, so they can stand there and look at camp better.
Right.
It's just amazing how close I call them forest people, but they come so close, and it's just a matter of time before they actually come into camp.
So, Greg,
they're 20 feet away now.
Greg, you use the same campsite all the time, right?
Yep.
All right. So that means they're getting
over and over and over.
They know who you are then. They're getting your scent. And They know exactly who you are then.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, and they trust me.
Yep.
And another thing, I don't allow people to use infrared cameras or all that crap because it will ruin the trust I built up with them. I told them right from the get-go, I ain't out here to prove nothing to nobody. I go, this is my journey, and I just take what y'all give me. I go, if you want me to take a picture, if I do, I will always ask, hey, I'm going to take a picture. If you don't want to be in it, leave. And I tell the people to come up there the same thing. But, they can use their phone cameras. It seems like the forest people don't worry about that. Just ask them first. But if you use the infrared and all that, they'll be all gone. Trail cameras, same thing. They won't come around. Or they think you're trying to manipulate them. And your research goes hell in a handbasket quick.
Yeah, if you lose their trust, and that's the end of that. Now, Greg, I remember I think it's about a year and a half ago, you sent me some photos. And what we found was, I think you were taking some pictures of the trees or something in the distance, and you had like 2 or 3 dogmen in it. You captured dogmen in a photo. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I'll never forget that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, how could I forget? I have people all the time still telling me, yeah, that's the best picture ever of Dogman.
It really was.
I haven't seen any. And the thing about that picture, before I explain what happened, this picture has been tore up and threaded by experts. He run it through filters, photoshopped it, reverse imaged it, everything possible to try to debunk it, and none of them could. And the bottom line is they all say, hey, it's 100% real. I mean, you can even see the wetness on the creature's nose,
Right.
A canine trait, along with the yellow, amber, glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What a lot of people report when they see these creatures. And here I am. I get one of the best pictures, if not the best picture of it in the world. And I didn't even see it standing back there. Yeah, like you say, Nick, I was taking a picture of a tree mow.
Yeah.
And I was out there with the general, my partner on Team Squatch Man,
Mm-hmm.
Him and my son and a couple of my brothers, and there was like 7 of us. And it's just me and him, though. It was New Year's Day, man, 2019. So it wasn't even that long ago.
No.
Most people are home sleeping off their hangovers. When we're out bright and early, man, a good day to hit the woods. Hey, why? Good way to start the new year off. So we're out there squatching. So that's what I do. Take pictures of everything I find. For my collection. Sometimes I share it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing, taking a picture of it. And we didn't even see it standing up there.
Mm-mm.
It was approximately 60 feet from where we were at to where it was at. So it was really close. And a creature of that, agility, muscle bound. Yeah, I mean, as well as I do, a lot of reports, these things are very, very muscular, that people report. And, just very, death, it could be a very deadly creature, with its weapons, claws, teeth, power, strength, movement. I mean, I'm sure they're really quick. So that's another thing Nick always says, be aware of your environment. Hey, well, I put my guard down that day. I wasn't aware of my environment.
You
Me
were
and the
taking
general
pictures.
could have been dinner.
Yeah, you were taking pictures. I gotta tell you, Greg,
Yes.
I took that photo. I enhanced it 25 times. I threw it up on a 65-inch screen. And I'm like, I can't believe this. You took the best picture of a Dogman. I mean, you're out there looking for Squatch. You took a best picture of a Dogman. Jay, you wouldn't believe this. I had it up on my 65-inch screen, and you could clearly see a Dogman, bipedal, standing up on 2 legs. Like Greg said, muscular, the muzzle, everything. He didn't even know he took the picture, until they went and they looked at it later on. It was amazing.
Tell them about the ears.
Prominent ears, definite prominent ears going up. I mean, I'm trying to look over here to see which one it would be. I'm thinking it was a variant too. I mean, this thing was huge.
Hey, well, send me a copy of that when you get a chance, buddy. I like to see that one.
Oh, these things,
that.
Yeah.
With that enhancement.
Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. And here I'm out there trying to get a picture of one, and I go 12 miles into a forest area, and all we get is the claw marks and on the trees, and some claw marks on the ground that we can take some footprints of. But you definitely got the best one.
I mean, you seen the original picture.
Yeah.
With him standing back there by that tree.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like he was part of the tree, or we didn't even notice it. I mean, if he moved, it would have been different, but he was completely silent.
Yeah, just observing you guys.
You seen the way he was looking right at me?
Yeah.
I mean, and them evil eyes staring right at me.
He was looking
and
lunch.
I like back when you were talking about that on your Dogman site with Duffy. Somebody said, well, how come I didn't, if they were so mean, how come I didn't attack him? And I loved your answer, Nick. You said, Hey, but Greg Yost is a pretty big guy. Hey, he's standing there 6'6", weighs about 230. Was in the military for 10 years. Knows how to fight. He goes, maybe he intimidated that creature.
Greg probably did intimidate. He wants an easy kill. They want an easy kill.
Yeah, he wants
if
an easy kill. No, he don't want to risk getting hurt.
You're right.
I mean, that thing looked like it probably was about a 7-footer, and you're close to 7 feet.
Yeah, so he wasn't much taller than me.
No, yeah, and, you're about the same thing. So it's like, nah, I'm just going to observe. Plus, you had other people over there in the background. So
yeah, I had the general. He was about 6'4".
Yeah.
He was a pretty good sized boy. So yeah, there was 2 others. So yeah, maybe that was it.
But that was
maybe he was just sizing us up and decided against it, or maybe he wasn't a vicious one. Who knows, man? Yeah, I just know I got the best picture of it, and I didn't even know, like you just said, and sometimes that is the best.
Just by accident, yeah.
I got home that night, and I posted everything we found that day. When there's a lot of weird shit happened that day, other than that. And all of a sudden, this lady says, OMG. On the one picture you're talking about, she goes, there's a Dogman, 12 o'clock eyes. And she must have thought I was still out there. She's like, get the hell away from her. Because I go, what's you talking about, a Dogman? So I looked at it, and I'm like, holy crap. I called the general up. I go, man, you ain't going to believe this. And I go, I said, I got the best fucking picture ever. Crystal clear Dogman. It looks like a Nevis. Pointed ears, glowing eyes, amber, big snout. You can see him standing there. You can see his left arm hanging down, big muscular arm. I said, yeah, dude. I go, it's a money shot, bro. I go, we got the Dogman. So he goes, well, send it to me. So I mean, yeah, it's just unbelievable, dude.
It's always that way, Greg. When you're not looking to take a certain shot, and you're just out there shooting around, anything, and you get a great shot. Like D.A. Roberts, he went with his buddy one night up to this park area that he was going to write about in one of his books, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and he and his buddy are filming him out there, and they get the background, and there's about a good, I would say there was 7, but they counted at least 5 different eyes, different eye shine looking at them from above 7 feet tall, off the ground.
Wow.
And then his buddy, who's a diabetic, he had to go pee. So he went up towards that area, not knowing anything's there, mind you. And he's peeing right, like almost in their faces practically.
Oh, boy.
And you know what peeing means? That means you're marking your territory, and they're probably over there.
Yeah.
They're probably over there getting all huffy and puffy and pissed off, saying, what the hell? This puny human over here is peeing. He's marking territory. This is our territory. So DA and his buddy, they leave, and they didn't get harmed. But some other people who looked at it and enhanced it say, wait a minute here now, look over here. And it was, they were filming it. They weren't just taking still pictures. And I'll be damned. I think there was 7 pairs of eyes there. And generally everybody's saying at least 5. But that's quite a bit. And boy, they were lucky. They were lucky that night.
Yes.
They just went up to that area but once again,
where is this at?
That's in Missouri.
Oh.
Joe Bald Park, I think it's called Joe Baldy Park. And, they were just lucky, absolutely lucky. And there you go. Like you said, it was an accidental shot, just like yours. And they got him in it. It was absolutely amazing. And one of the guys has super eyesight because he picked up on it. And then when we enhanced it, you can see it. I mean, he still talks about it to this day. So, Jay, you got two two people here that we know personally that have gotten money shots on Dogman. And
Yeah.
Greg is about one of the clearest ones I've ever seen, though.
Yeah, and I took that one I sent you, and it had its arms wrapped around the deer. I didn't even realize he was there until I analyzed the. I said I was looking at the picture after, and I said, "My God, that's a Dogman."
Yeah.
He had his long arms wrapped right around a deer. You could see the bowels on the ground where he just slit the deer open. But I didn't see him until until I really looked at the picture.
You analyze the picture later on. That's why you got to grab pictures and you got to blow them up, throw them up on a screen, get yourself one of these things and look at it and see what you got, because you might have something there.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely amazing, though, Greg's shot that he took. Like I said, it was an accident, but still, it was about the best shot you've ever seen. I mean,
I appreciate it, Nick. I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
it's too bad. There's some of them people out there, you got to try to steal it for themselves. So, you know how it works.
Yeah.
It's a dog eat dog world out there in the so-called community,
cryptozoology community. Yeah. Well,
a lot of backstabbing and
you're talking.
I don't want to get into all that, but sad but true, man.
Well, Greg, you're talking to two people that don't backstab people. The only thing we're interested, Jay and I, is in the research and bringing information to people, true information. And if I'm going to tell you something, Greg. What was it, about a month or so ago? Greg, we were interviewing this guy, and partway through, after the first 10 minutes, sounded like he was full of garbage, and he was lying, and he was bullshitting. And I hope I can say that on YouTube. But long story short, we decided after discussing it, we were not going to put out that episode because we're not going to put out BS. Just not going to do it.
No way.
I don't blame you, man.
So there's a missing show in there, but hey, that's okay.
All right. Made up for it.
Yeah, you can usually tell when somebody's lying, man.
It's just
like some of these stories been popping up lately, coming out of the blue. I just don't know, man. For an example, the Roger dude.
Oh, God.
Said he was underneath that camper. I don't believe none of that happened.
Well, I had two shots at him on an interview twice, and I proved, at least to myself, that he was totally full of it, and he's a charlatan. All he wants to do is get his 15 minutes of fame, get on a TV program, and he wants to make $20,000, $30,000. And, for telling a BS bull-faced lie when everybody knows it wasn't a drivable camper that they had. It was a tow-behind camper. I mean, he's just so full of it. Plus, the police would never, I don't care if it's regular police, sheriff's department, these are supposedly federal police officers, and they know better. They would never take a 15-year-old to a crime scene. First of all, he would pollute the crime scene. Second of all, the psychological damage of looking in that camper with all the blood and guts and gore, that's going to psychologically damage. Third of all, he's not a witness. He's also, a part of being the accused.
Suspect.
He's probably a suspect in it also.
Sure.
So it's like, it just throws me every time when I think about it, the BS that he put forth in that. And I mean, I had other points that I talked about, and I remember, Greg, you, me, and DA, we got on and we discussed it. That whole thing, that whole interview that he did. And then I went on Josh Turner's show, and I proved him to be the charlatan that he is. That guy went under another name too, 12 years before that on Facebook. And I think he was putting out videos here and there. So I guess he's trying to make a buck the cheap and easy way. But like I always say, cryptozoology is hard enough. that we have to have people trying to, lie and BS and bring shame to us. It's too much.
Exactly.
Did you guys see the thing that went down a few days ago in Las Vegas? I'm still trying to check that out. It was supposedly an alien landing, and the guy said that it looked like 2 8 or 10 feet tall beings, large eyes, hairy bodies. I mean, sounded to me like a Sasquatch.
Yeah, sounded like Bigfoots to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, the police went there, they had their body cams on, and then suddenly their body cams, they put a lens over it and they weren't showing anything else. So it's like, why are you guys hiding it? What's the problem?
Exactly.
They didn't have your regular.
The police did see the thing land or crash, whatever it did. So they even backed up the boy's story that landing in his backyard whenever pulling up.
Yeah. I mean,
look at all the stories about people talking about Bigfoot and UFOs in the same story. So there's something going on, man.
Yeah, correlation for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're either going up into an alien spaceship and being put down here on Earth by an alien spaceship, or I'm thinking they use a portal to travel between dimensions and different places. But that was something. I mean, I actually took the video to work with me and I put it on a voice analyzer, Jay. Yeah. And the voice analyzer showed me that the guy was actually speaking straight. He wasn't rehearsed. He wasn't, trying to lie about anything. He was actually speaking straight up. He was talking the truth, at least that he saw or what he saw.
What he saw, yeah.
So this wasn't one of those people trying to, make a fast buck by saying, "Oh, I got a alien spaceship," because hell, first of all, they called the police to the scene. So what is going on?
Yeah.
He wanted the police there, and he actually was quite upset. So
he seemed pretty legit.
I mean, they'll probably have the FBI go down here and investigate it. They'll tape it all off and everything, get the people out of there. Yeah. What I would have done was gone back the next day because it was getting dark there and not a lot of light. I would go back the next day with a Geiger counter, see if there was radiation. And number two, you're going to search the ground for unusual footprints. And maybe bring some tracking dogs out there to see if there's anything down there. Because generally a tracking dog is going to alert and act funny if it's something unusual, a scent that it's never smelled before. And a Sasquatch or a Dogman would be a scent that it wouldn't have smelled before, really.
Right.
So that would have been a good thing. I'm trying to search the news for any updates that I get. But I got to say, in the International Dogman project that we run, Jay, we've got a bunch of really good members out there who are on top of things, and they're always sending things that come up. Yeah. And I view them all to see if they're true or not true. I'll run them through some programs to see if they've been photoshopped or not. Unfortunately, a lot of times they are photoshopped.
Yeah.
But this one here, no, this was straight up. So in the coming weeks, I'd like to see what's going to be happening.
Yeah, for sure. Greg, I have a quick question. The Sasquatch around where you research, is that, you mentioned there was about 15 of them before?
Well, what have I seen? 15?
Yeah, are they you think they're one family group or is it a couple different groups?
Oh, no, I probably believe they're tribal people.
Right.
They live in large groups, large family units.
Okay.
Speaking of UFOs, this is what blew my mind one night. That I'm a firm believer in the Sasquatch UFO connection or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot. I know a lot about this, but I can't tell you. I can't connect the dots on that, but I can tell you what I've seen this night in March, back in 2016. What Nick was talking about is one of my outings. Just me, Eugene, my son of Squatch Man, and a good friend of mine, John Gregory. We were the only ones camping. Like I said, it was a cold March weekend. Bad for camping, but great for what we do. Yeah, anytime is great. You know, like I tell everybody, it's a 365-day hobby. They're out there every day. So what day's better than the next? I mean, who knows? You know, some people, the spring's better, the fall's better. No, every day could be better. So I don't put much stock in that. So anyway, we're out there, and we was driving around the forest, just driving around in my Jeep, you know, Saturday morning, what we usually do. You're just going through the whole forest looking for stuff, anything on the side of the road that they could have made. And this one dead-end road, which I now named UFO Mountain, it goes up over a couple of mountains, and it goes all the way down to the dead ends at a lake. And this one day when we went up there, before this happened, it happened that night, but the morning, Saturday morning, there was a big tree that was pushed over. And just like any good detective, first thing I told Eugene and John was, I said, look, they did this. I said, guess where we're coming back tonight? We're coming up here. I said, they don't want nobody up here, man. Something's going to happen. I said, we're going to be here. So night fell. We waited, till it got good and late. I'd say about after midnight, I go, let's roll. So we jumped in my Jeep. We went back up there, and I moved my Jeep around. So the back end was up against that log. So we had to hightail it out of there, man. I didn't have to worry about turning around. We were ready to roll. So when we get out, and then we go on the other side of the log, and my Jeep's right there, and it's a pretty big hill there. So we start walking up the hill, and we walk about a mile and a half, and we sit there, and then we sit down for a while on the road, and just looking around, listening, nothing going on. It's starting to drizzle, real chilly wind coming up over through the mountains. So I'm like, well, it's getting late. It's probably about 2 o'clock by then, and I go, let's go back, man. Let's go back to camp. So we go back down the road, and we get up to the last hill, and I look down there. I didn't know the Jeep was down there. I really didn't know where we were at. And I've seen all these yellow lights. So I said, look, y'all, it looks like a village down there. I go, what the hell? We're around up on a pitch black mountain, overcast, drizzling, no stars, no moon, no lights anywhere, just completely dark. I see all these glowing yellow lights. So that's what I said. It looked like a village. So then a second later, when I said that, they all looked up at us, and I'm like, holy crap. I said, hey, there are Bigfoots down there. I said, holy shit. I go, look, man, count them. So I started counting the eyes. I mean, you can see them plain as day. 2, 4, 6. I counted 12 of them. The other guys seen them too. And we're walking slowly down the hill. And then I see they're all around my Jeep. Their eyes are lighting up my Jeep. I got cherry metallic, and you can see that. I said, look, man, that's my Jeep down there. and we're just all fucking just freaked out. And when we keep walking real slow, and they're not running, they're not doing nothing, not screaming. Every now and then they're looking up at us, you know, like, oh, that's Greg, don't worry about him. And I said we was probably 25 feet from them, and you could really start making them out then. And I've seen real big ones, small ones, medium-sized ones. I've probably seen a couple 10-footers, 8, 7, 6, all the way down. It looked like a mom and her little baby there. He was like 3 feet, 2 feet, and then they all had the same colored eyes, amber yellow, and they were all glowing, very bright, almost like flashlights. Yeah. So all of a sudden to the left, this big bright light. We're up on a mountain, and on this left side of this mountain and to the right of it, we're up on the tip of it. I mean, there ain't nothing but ravines. And we're looking at a 400 or 500 foot ravine with a slope on it and passable to the man. I mean, you can't get down it. You're not sure now ain't going to get up it. Right. I mean, very, very steep. And here's this big bright object floating through the woods. It looked like a train locomotive light, the brightest, purest light I've ever seen in my life. And it's going right through trees. And I mean, just a sight to see, man. It's hard to describe. And it's just floating, no noise, no nothing. And we thought it was a car at first. And then we realized it wasn't. So it got all the way about even near my Jeep, about 100 foot out of that ravine. And it went out. And just disappeared. And all the Bigfoots, they all took off running down that ravine. I mean, we was watching them leave, running. And by that time, we were right there at the Jeep, hearing the last ones, scampering down the side of that mountain. Mm-hmm. So we're standing there, and all of a sudden we hear a big, heavy footsteps coming right there, 10 feet right there to the left of us. And John Gregory, he's pointing. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I go, that's one walking. I don't know if he's coming up here or what. So we're standing there, and you can hear why. I guess he was the last one. The big boy guarding the family. Yeah. He was the last one that went down the hill. So we're all standing there, man, all dumbfounded. And Eugene out of nowhere goes, well, will your Jeep start? I go, I don't know, man. I go, are you scared? So we wasn't scared or nothing, man. We wasn't frightened. I mean, it was almost like it's so cool. I mean, it was like it was meant to be. So I'm like, what, man? You scared? He goes, no, I'm not scared. You know how they like zapping your battery? They done it to you before. Just see if it will start, Dad. So I'm walking back to camp and getting my car and coming back and jumping y'all. So I started up. I go, it started. And there's a 90-degree turn right there, 20 feet in front of us, where my Jeep's pointing. And I looked down and said, look. And there's two fucking huge ones down there right there in that 90. They're looking at us. And John Greger goes, well, I think they all went down the hill, didn't they? I'm like, I guess them two didn't. I go, they must be the guards. I thought the big one was the last one, but I was wrong. So I was like, well, come on, man. I go, everybody get in, man. We've seen enough. I go, let's get off this mountain. So we went back to camp, about a mile away, right there in the same state forest. And we went back to camp. And, to this day, it remains a mystery, man. Well, what the hell happened up there that night? I don't know what that light was, but I know for sure I've seen 12 biggies, maybe more. kind of hard to count, man, when they're all moving around, but it was a bunch of them.
Well, Jay,
and that's
what he saw was, I mean, he had an orb in the sky. Same
Yeah.
thing. A lot of people, Greg, a lot of people, when they see Sasquatch, Bigfoot or Dogman, they also report seeing a lighted orb in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just another person also now reporting, the same thing. So yeah, there's got to be some kind of connection to it. There must be. We just haven't been able to put two and two together yet.
Yeah.
Greg, and all the time you've been out there, sounds like they've been pretty friendly towards you. Have you ever had any aggression towards you from the Bigfoot? Like throwing a rock.
A couple times. A couple times it was pretty frightening. I can think of two incidents. I'm sure you heard of the first encounter that has got me into this. I call it the Ferdinand Charge. We're out there in Ferdinand one night in November of 2002 is where it all started. And I was out there with my dog Buddy, and I knew nothing about Bigfoot. That was the farthest thing on my mind at the time. I was laid off from my job. My old lady left me and took my two babies. My life was going nowhere. I was miserable. All I had was my dog and plenty of time to kill. Couldn't find a job. I was on unemployment. So I went out through the woods a lot. And my mom was from a little town called Ferdinand. It's down here in the southwest Indiana. Very small Mayberry kind of town. Real friendly people. I mean, no big, modernization. You won't find fast food joints or box stores there. Just a real small town. A little grocery store, hardware store, that kind of town.
Right.
And my grandfather helped build a forest there in 1933. And we always went there swimming when we were kids and everything. And I just absolutely loved the place. So during my hard time in life, I went out there a lot, trying to find myself, trying to figure out what direction I'm headed in life. I spent 10 and a half years in the Navy. I figured I was due for a better life than what I was going through. So on this night, man, it was a couple days before Thanksgiving. And I went out there with a pack of wieners. I was going to sit there, have a nice, enjoyable night, build me a fire, and hang out and think, man. Right there by the lake, there's a big hill right there, and this is over a dam, a little secluded spot, but back at the back of the forest. So everything was going good. Real quiet November night. Crystal clear. When the moon wasn't out or nothing, it was really dark. But I'm not scared of the dark. Never have been. Matter of fact, I'm not scared of hardly nothing. Ghosts, you name it. I'll stand my ground. I don't back down for nothing, and that's the kind of guy I am. People likewise. They want to mouth off to me, whatever, man. I'm kind of old now, but back in the day, I'd slap it right out of your mouth, man, if you wanted to talk smack about me. So anyway, I'm out there that night, and I didn't expect this to happen, but it did. And there was a dog come up. It was like a little beagle, coon dog kind of dog, man, and like a hunting dog. And he started, hanging around. I gave him a couple of hot dogs with Buddy. And Buddy was a 125-pound dog of mine, my best friend. And he was half chow and half golden retriever. Looked like a big grizzly bear.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was good and dark, man. It gets dark at 5:30 in the winter. And here comes car lights down this desolate Park Road over the dam right around back. I'm like, who in the hell is this? So he pulls up, man, and it's the county sheriff. So he gets out, man, starts talking. They offer him a hot dog. He eats it, and we're talking about my kinfolk down in Ferdinand. He knew a couple of them, my Uncle Joe, and he really wanted that hunting dog. And he said he got off at 6 o'clock in the morning. He goes, I'm coming back, man. I'm going to get that hunting dog. So I go, hey, have at it. I go, it's not mine. I'm not going to be here, but hey, feel free, buddy. So we said our greetings, and he took off. And he told me to have a nice night and be safe. So, I mean, it wasn't 15 minutes later, man. I'm sitting there. The dogs are laying there and had a little fire going with a little glow to it. And all of a sudden, down off that hill, what sounded like a Sherman tank coming down it. I mean, all the way down the hill. And I'm sitting there, man, trying to think, man, well, what the hell am I listening to? I go, what is going on here? So there's a big white oak. I remember it very good. I go there a lot thinking about what happened that night. And it's about 3 foot, 4 foot in diameter, big old tree. Yeah. And there's a wood line right where they made the cutout for the little camp areas there, like 4 or 5 of them. A picnic table and a fire pit. Then they got an outhouse over there, and that's the only thing that's back there. And this thing comes crashing down the hill, and it stops behind that tree. And then all of a sudden I hear, breathing like that. I'm like, holy shit! Yeah, and I'm frozen, man. I can't even freaking move, man. I'm in shock. And I'm like, no, man, this can't be happening. And it keeps getting louder and louder, man. It's like a stereo's up there vibrating. They're right to me like a big bass speaker. And my dog and his other dog, they get up and they walk about 25 feet from the tree as it is. So they walk up and sit down about 10 feet from it. They're just staring up there at this thing. So I'm like, holy shit. So I hear my chief, man, my Navy days come back. I heard my chief say, hey, Yost, you better get off your 6 and do something quick. Well, what I teach you about, but for every action, you better react. You're going to be you're going to be in Arlington. So I heard them words and it struck home. Yeah, I jumped up, man. I had a 45 right there in my console. 2000 Pontiac Grand Prix. I bought it brand new. It was only 2 years old, and that was my Black Beauty. So as I reached in there, man, I grabbed my pistol. I had my clip halfway out. I slammed it in. I cocked it, man, and put a round in there. And it was a game changer. I said, okay, game on. And I went from, being a scared little child to turning into my Navy warrior mode. So I pointed that gun up there and I started ripping it. I said, hey, I don't know what the F you are or what the F you, where you came from. I go, it's like this, man. You hurt my dog or come down from around that tree. I go, I got 12 rounds in here. I go, I'm going to shoot your ass dead, buddy. I go, I don't want to. I go, you hear me? I go, I ain't looking for trouble. I go, but if you come around that tree, man, I'm blasting your ass. And, he's up there. It sounds like it's getting louder and louder. I'm like, I don't need this. I'm like, this is a freaking nightmare, man. So I'm screaming for Buddy. Buddy! Yeah, I know my time is limited. I got to get my dog. I got to get in my car. And I got to get out of there, man. And I got to do it now. So I'm screaming at my dog, and he won't even turn around. And this is a well-minded dog, so you all will know. So I'm like, well, damn it. So it's like, I know what I had to do. I go, I'm not leaving there without my dog. So I said, look. I said, I'm getting my dog, man. I go, yeah, that's all I want. I go, I don't care about you. I go, but I'm coming up there and getting my dog. I go, if you come around that tree, man, I go, I'm blasting your ass. I go, I'm going to kill you, man. I go, you hear me? I go, I'm not playing. I go, I don't want to, but I am. So you know, like he's really fucking listening, I don't know. So I baby stepping up there, you know, and I'm right-handed. And horrible shot with my left arm. So I'm like, nah, I got to pick my dog up with my left arm. 125-pound dog, like lifting a bag of weights. And, you know, I'm trying to get him in my lap. And at the same time, keeping my gun trained when I know this beast is going to come out from around that tree. I'm going to have to light him up. So I got a lot going on, man. But yeah, I did it pretty good, man. So I started backing up. I had my dog secure. I was backing up. I was totally focused. I mean, my trigger just about pulled. I mean, I knew he was coming. I was shaking. When I was ready for combat, man. Yeah, any good soldier's going to be scared, man. So I knew that was natural. So I got back to the car, man. I threw Buddy in there. It was a 4-door. I slammed the door and I got in, started it right up, hit reverse, back to the dam. I was going to go across the damn road, and I was shaking like a leaf on a tree. And I go, God, man, I need a cigarette bad. So all my shit was up there on the picnic table. So I'm like, oh, hell no. You know, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I was about having a panic attack. I go, you just wouldn't know, brothers. So I said, I'm going back. I said, I'm getting my shit. So I go back up to the picnic table, and I have my gun out again. So I just barely opened the door, just enough to stand out there, you know, and get it. So as I was going back up there, I hit my bright lights. And I wanted to look if I could see that thing up there behind the tree. And I seen his left arm from his elbow all the way up to his fingers. Big ass arm with black hair hanging down off of it. Well, what it looked like big black cigars for fingers. So I'm like, holy shit. I said, that is a monster. I said, there's a monster in Indiana, man. I go, no. I said, nobody's going to believe me, man. I go, I cannot believe it. So I went up there, and that poor dog was still sitting there. So I go, oh, my God. I said, God, what are you doing to me, man? Why are you trying me yet again? And, you know, thinking I'm going to rescue this dog. I said, and then my second voice, he goes, no, man, don't risk it. You know, you're at the end of your rope. Get your shit and get out of here, man. It's over. So I'm like, okay, I agree, man. So without second guessing it, I got out of there and all the way home. Until this day, what brought me into this, what in the hell happened out there that night, man? Why'd he come down off that hill on me? Well, was I going to be in David Pilates' book? I talked to him over this. He said if I didn't confront him with that gun and then cussing at him like a sailor, I probably would have been missing. I mean, that scared the shit out of me, but I mean, I don't know what the thing did. I've never had problems with them. So, but it was a very scary night, man.
That was your very first, huh?
Yeah, my very first encounter.
Wow.
And I've had many since then, and none of them have been nothing like that one. I mean, just the thought of that boy coming down off that hill, all that noise he was making, my God.
My God,
I mean,
right.
trees breaking, branches snapping. I mean, it's just horrifying. So I got up bright and early the next day, drove right back up there, and I knew a DNR lady up there, Charlotte, a good friend of mine, because I went up there a lot, like I told you. And she came back here, and I was back here looking around, trying to, make sense of what happened to me. And she comes pulling up, and she goes, "What are you doing here so early on a weekday?" And I go, "Well, you won't believe what happened to me last night." So I told her. She started laughing. She goes, "Ah, come on, it's probably a deer." I'm like, "A deer?" No. But yeah, that was my welcome aboard encounter.
Very first encounter. Well, Jay, we're past Greg and Jay, we're past our 1 hour over here by about 12, 13 minutes. So go ahead, Jay, take over.
I'd say we have Greg back on at some point.
Yeah, Greg, we're gonna have to do a part 2 because there's a lot more to tell. I know that.
Yeah,
because that was your first encounter.
Oh yeah, plus I didn't know you only had an hour out of those. But if you shorten them though, you take away some of the content of them.
No, we could still probably get that extra 15 minutes in or so that we had on the end. But that was great.
Hey, I'll be glad. Yeah, I'll be glad to come back again, man. I mean,
great.
Right, Jay? That was great hearing his first encounter. That was a horrible encounter the first time around.
Oh, my God.
I know it was, but all it did was make me want to go deep in it. I wanted to find out what this thing was, where'd it come from. I mean, I knew they were out in California. I didn't know they were in Indiana.
They're all over the place. That's what I found out.
Are.
All over.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Right. So just stay on the line, Greg. We're going to have to put an end to the show, but stay on the line.
Yeah.
Okay,
thanks, everyone,
bro.
for joining us tonight. Thanks to Greg, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, Jay, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, sir, Greg.
Show. I had a great time.
It was a blast. And Greg will be back for part 2 at some point within the next few weeks, and we'll get the rest of the story. And if you need to get a hold of Nick and I, you can reach us on Messenger. We'll always answer you. Everyone be good to each other. God bless, and have a great evening.
Oh, you too, Jay. Again, thanks for having me, bud. God bless you all.
Good night, everybody.
My pleasure.
Night, Nick.